Okay, we're live.
Yay, we're live.
Yep.
Hello, world.
People.
We're gonna wait. There's no people yet.
That's all right. We'll wait a couple minutes.
Yeah.
We're a little, I don't even know. Is it 2? I'm hoping it is.
It is.
All right, right on the money.
Let me see. Oh, it's 2:03.
Oh, sorry, we're a little late. We were already here. We were just really scoping out the place and enjoying the weather.
Yes.
It is a picture-perfect blue
Gorgeous.
sky today.
Let's see. Well, whoops. I can't put my finger in front of the camera.
Use the little- yeah,
I'm just gonna pick it up and move it. Look at this. Gorgeous place. Some beautiful old homes in this area of town.
Some reno work happening too.
We are on Lawrence Street in Marietta, just east of the City Hall, Marietta City Hall and Post Office.
Yeah, a little bit.
Past the cemetery.
Yeah, just east of Hanley Shelton. Like I can see Hanley Shelton from here. So
Yeah.
the funeral home, if you're familiar.
Yes.
So last week we were at Lewis Park, so we were kind of on the other side of town. Come on over here and explore what is now known as the Hugh Grogan Junior Community Center, formerly known as the Lawrence Street Recreation Center, and kind of do a history not only of the facility itself, but kind of Lawrence Street as well. So before we get some people on, but
there's just one. There was two. No, somebody slipped off. We'll give it a minute.
that's fine.
We'll give it another minute. I'll show you over here where Hanley Shelton Funeral Home is. Gosh, they've got a history. I don't remember exactly when they opened, but it's been quite some time. Way down there. See that sign? Way down there. Yeah, I can zoom.
Oh, really?
I am fancy. We got some new construction here. New things happening in town. All right, we got some folks. Let's go ahead and go.
So, a couple things before we actually get started. First off, it kind of just worked out this way. But if you have not checked out Amy's Great Locomotive Chase Adventure on Monday, she went from Kennesaw to Ringgold from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Pretty much, and then we got all of those on Facebook, but they are all now also on our YouTube channel. We have resurrected our YouTube page.
Yes.
So if you search for Marietta Museum of History on YouTube, you will find those videos. And then we are also going to be putting more videos up on there now that we've got the hang of it. And including these lives that we've been doing, we're going to get all those. So in case you have somebody who's not on Facebook, such as your teenage child, you could direct them to YouTube, because if they're like my kids, they're on YouTube all the time.
Yep.
And then we also want to
We're going to put all of these up there too.
Yeah, all of our Facebook Lives that we've done, we're going to put up there. And then...
and we're going to try to start putting up our Remember When Club.
Yes.
Old archives as well.
Yeah. So we'll try and dig back through our...
Jay said yes.
Archives. Hi, Jay. Archives, so that we can get some of those. It's been a little while since we've listened to some of them, so we got to make sure that you can hear what the people are saying. So you might see some real gems in some of those. So we're at Grogan, and if you're not familiar with it, it is actually now the home of the Marietta Police Athletic League. We're not going to go inside today, just because, with all the things and it being super nice out, we just wanted to be outside and enjoying it. But if you're not familiar with PAL, it started in 2007 with Lieutenant Going. He's now Lieutenant Going.
There was a logo up here.
Getting it started. So shout out to Marietta PD, and shout out to Lieutenant Goings. And then, so they've been here. What they do is I want to make sure I get it right. Its mission is to prevent juvenile crime, violence by providing civic, athletic, recreational, and educational opportunities which create trust and build understanding between officers and youth. And since 2007, Marietta PAL has served nearly 6,000 youth and their families. Their website is mariettapal.org, so please go and check them out. It is a great organization. So, why did I pick over here?
Why did you pick over
I
here?
got
That
to
was
choose.
a surprise.
I got to choose because Amy wasn't in the office on Monday. She was doing her tour, and then she wasn't in the office on Tuesday. I picked over here because I want to get all areas of town. So we're trying to go everywhere, but also we
It's
have
also a city property, so
It is-
we
that
don't need
helped.
permission to be
That
out
helped.
here.
But also, Amy and I have, and spurred by Amy first, we're really wanting more and more information about African American communities in Marietta. So I was like, let's go over to Lawrence Street, which was really the facility, along with Montgomery Street, which is now Elizabeth Porter, and talk about what was here. Because if you go over to Elizabeth Porter, which is a beautiful, wonderful splash ground park, there's not a lot of the original left. So when they redid it, so we wanted to come over here with some of the original, and also going through all of those slides from Parks and Rec. I actually have some pictures of the pool that was here.
Yay.
The first pool, not the second pool. Very important. So this facility, actually, the pool itself, the first pool was in 1948. You gonna scoot back a little?
Yeah, you want to walk with me back here, and we
Oh.
can get kind of a shot of the hold. And,
Yeah.
And I'm gonna walk backwards, so if I fall,
Luckily, it's very level. So the parking
the
lot
camera
back
goes
here,
down. That's neat.
this area really was kind of where the original pool was. It kind of went at more of an angle from Lawrence Street, kind of pointing towards Washington, because Washington Avenue's on the other side. We'll go towards the back later and show you that. But the pool actually came and was built in 1948. So Brumby Pool was the white only pool. And then
And where was Brumby?
Brumby Pool was over by what is now the middle school area. And I have pictures of that too, but I'm walking back on.
You don't have to walk backwards. It's
Okay, good. Thank you. I mean, although I'm pretty good at it. So in order to, we've all heard that term, separate but equal. They made sure to have a pool for the African American community, which was in what is now this parking lot area. So the pool came first, 1948. Catherine Woods wrote an article in the Marietta Daily Journal. If you don't know who Catherine Woods was, she and her husband, Professor M.J. Woods, who was principal at Lemon Street, they really were two of the top, I would say, educators and influencing for the African American community in the 40s, 50s, 60s, all the way up until their deaths. But she wrote in the MDJ about the pool coming in. So the pool was going to be 50 feet by 120 feet, and then this whole area was pretty much undeveloped until they put the pool here. And it was going to be enclosed completely by a cyclone wire fence. I don't think a wire fence is going to stop any cyclones, but whatever. And then 2 lifeguard stations would be provided, along with a waiting pool, snack bar, and men and women's dressing rooms. The pool was under the supervision of Miss Catherine Woods, with assistance from Catherine Crittenden, Ilya Hamilton, Louise Hemphill, and Teresa Gordon. Louise Hemphill was one of the supervisors for recreation facilities as well. And then 2 lifeguards, Bradley Eppinger Jr. Eppinger, you might know that name from Eppinger Funeral Home, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. And then Frank Sexton.
We have pictures of him in our exhibit.
Oh, in the
Burford.
exhibit.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Thank you. I blanked for a
It
second.
took me a minute too.
My exhibit, I blanked. Raymond Burford exhibit.
Yes. The pool had a capacity of 252,000 gallons. That's a nice big pool. And in order to get into the pool, you had to pay admission of 14 cents for children and 30 cents for adults. If you're curious, 14 cents would be $1.50 today. 30 cents would be $3.21. So that's a pretty good price to go into the pool. So they built a pool, and this pool actually, while Brumby is older, there was a pool over at Larry Bell Park. This pool was built first. Okay. So this is like the second of the 3 pools built in Marietta. And so as the pool continues, you see change in, of course, the new manager in the 1960s becomes Elizabeth Porter. We've heard that name before. And then you had their head lifeguard was Rufus Johnson, which that name sounds familiar, but I couldn't pinpoint where I had heard that name. So while the pool is here and you have this dressing facility, which I'm going to show you guys right now, this is 1969. I'll hold it up. You can get a better idea of what the pool, the wading pool, and the smaller facility for like the dressing area, lockers, and all that. That's what that looks like. This is from the slides that we got from Parks and Rec. But that was what the original pool looked like.
Nathan Lincoln wants to know if this is where the aquatic center is now. And no, Nathan, the aquatic center is over off of Fairground, right? Fairground and
the counties.
Yeah. It's over by Jenny T. Anderson Theater.
Larry Bell
what's that
area.
intersection right there?
It's the area where Larry Bell is now. That the aquatic center is over with all of that.
Right. We are actually east of the Marietta Square, just I don't know, maybe a mile.
I get about that.
Yeah, down Lawrence Street. Lawrence Street is the street that has City Hall and the post office. And if you keep going east, you end up down here.
Yeah, if we went, I mean, I can almost see it from here. The intersection to Fairground is within shouting distance of where we're at right now. So with the pool being here and it providing,
You're fine.
Okay. Providing a lot of activity or place for kids to come to. It didn't have a really big facility though. Didn't have a place for basketball, skating, that kind of thing. So they get the money to build a facility in the 1960s, which I don't know if you focused on that one sign back up front with the rededication, but we can go back towards there if we need to. So the new building, this new facility building, was going to be 100.7 feet. I don't know why they couldn't round up, by 85, and it was going to be a structure for basketball, skating rink, dance area, and for banquets. So you see basketball now coming here, and it's still being used for basketball today. I found an article, and I need everybody's help because I Googled this, and I couldn't find an answer. In 1964, the Holland Globe Stars, a touring basketball team of professional black stars, brought their team to Marietta on Saturday and Sunday afternoon in January of 1964 to play the Dallas Warriors. They played here at Lawrence Street, but I can't find any information about this league. So if anybody's got anything, and no, it's not the Harlem Globetrotters. I even looked to see if like that was another name for them. No, it's not. So the Holland Globe, and they played the Dallas Warriors, which if you search that, nothing comes up either. So they did have what we would do professional teams coming here to do showcases.
Did it say it was professional?
A touring basketball team of professional Negro stars.
Okay. I'm just wondering if it can be Hollandtown versus Dallas, Georgia. I'm just going to throw that out there.
No, okay. The reason I'm not going to go with that is because the Clown Prince, Baby Gose, I guess, Gosse, was from Ohio.
Oh, okay.
Melvin Jones, I don't know where he's from. Andrew Clayton was from Long Branch, New Jersey. So you have these guys, and they've been playing on these teams for a while.
Okay.
So yeah, again, I would love to find more information. So we get this new facility built here, and if you're curious, it cost in the day $65,700 to build. Today, $567,000-ish. I guarantee it wouldn't have been that cheap. No building would be that cheap now, especially not when it was 100.7 feet by 85. I just love how very specific it is. But this center, the pool and the facility itself, is providing activities and recreation for, in 1968, for over 25,000 people. Now, granted, it's people who are coming back repeatedly, but this whole community, this was a huge center. This one and the one over on Montgomery Street, which I have a map to kind of show you how far apart they are. But Lawrence Street was a huge community. It was one of the early business areas for African Americans in Marietta. Our earliest directory goes back to like 1888, and a lot of African Americans living here were living on Lawrence Street. you see the switch from Lawrence Street to Lemon Street in the early 50s, when you see Marietta Housing Authority building things like the Lyman, what became the Lyman homes, and more housing over in that area. So that's why you see a shift from Lawrence over to Lemon. I think a lot of people are more familiar with Lemon Street's kind of history than it is with Lawrence
Do you mean
Street.
Fort Hill? Lyman Homes was over on Montgomery,
but when they built that facility, it was Lemon Street's closer than this is.
Oh, that facility. I see
Yeah.
what you mean. Okay, yeah.
So I did want to bring up, I had read this story a couple of times, but in 1971, I think it's very easy to forget that the civil rights movement being in the mid-1960s, that we kind of forget when the 1970s roll around that there are still a lot of civil rights issues happening, and Marietta was no exception. The big story that I've read for here was the illegal raid on this facility during a dance with kids ages 12 to 18. Amy, have you heard about this one?
No.
So on October 8th, a drug raid at the Lawrence Street Recreation Center occurred, and Hugh Grogan, an officer for the Action Council, the Black Youth Action Council, said that the Marietta black community was very upset over the drug raid, which was in the manner that it was handled. He said that he, along with Marietta Police Chief Harold P. Kraft and the Cobb County District Attorney Ben Smith, agreed that the search that happened here was irregular, and that the warrants used in the incident were improperly made out. So there were a number of kids here for a dance, and there was a warrant put out saying that the, quote, Marietta Recreation, Lemon Street, Marietta, Georgia, there were drugs there. So the warrants came out, and they raided this facility, and there were 75 kids here having an adult supervised dance. So this civil rights issue comes up, and that's where you see Hugh Grogan really coming in to helping Marietta continue with its civil rights effort. Just because the Civil Rights Act happens in the mid-1960s and you see school integrations happening, it doesn't mean that civil rights just automatically, was, what's the word I'm looking for? Everybody was following these new civil rights acts and things like that. So if we will have this available in our new file. We're starting new files, by the way. This is a new one. Lawrence Street Rec Center is going to have one. And we're going to actually put the link to the Hugh Grogan oral interviews that KSU and Dr. Tom Scott did. I think this was in the 80s. Or early 90s, one of the two.
Yeah.
We'll put a link to that so you guys can watch that from KSU's website. But another person that was really important here was James Goober. He was actually one of the rec leaders here. And we're going to post his live video that we did February. Gosh, that was February. At Marietta City Hall. Excuse the fact that I had the camera sideways for like the first 10 minutes. Maybe a little bit longer than that. I think majority of it is Amy talking, but technology. But we'll put that up on Facebook, or we'll link to it under this one, but we'll put it on YouTube as well so you guys can watch that. Because James Goober is endlessly fascinating.
Absolutely.
So, born and raised in Marietta, civil rights pioneer. So we definitely would love to have more people watch that one. So Lawrence Street becomes. Do you want to go?
Do you want to walk around the back?
Towards the back. Let's walk to the back, and then I can show you some more.
Okay.
Do you want to go down the stairs first?
I will go down the stairs carefully with the camera.
If you want to, you can turn it back towards us this way. So we don't
yes, I could do that. Let's do that.
What's up? See? Not that y'all haven't seen her face on Monday. She was all over the place.
I'm behind the camera today.
Your face was on it the whole time Monday. I don't know what you're talking about. Every single video, there is her face. So Amy and I never had actually walked back here before, till today, and it is quite a nice little spot. Very
Look at these beautiful azaleas. Oh, I love this time of year. So pretty. Oh my goodness.
And again, if you guys are enjoying this, we have, like I said, we have a list, but if somebody wants us to go somewhere, we are more than happy to do it. Okay, so this beautiful area. What if I told you it had a pool? Would you believe me?
No way.
Yes.
What?
It was the pool, the second pool area, okay?
Okay.
So the picture that I showed you, let me grab these. The picture that I showed you from 1969, and actually everybody likes an aerial map, so let's show you again. This is 1961. Here is the pool. That's the area that we were just out, and that's the little building, Lawrence Street.
That building's no longer there.
That
The
building's
pool's
gone.
no longer there. That's the parking lot.
That's the parking lot.
And point to the building where we're at now.
We're behind this one, kind of right here.
Yeah.
Because this one was built, I mean, this was just done, 1961. So this, it might not be done on the inside, but the roof and stuff is done.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And before they moved did you say this plaque was for the second one?
Yes, it's
Okay.
for the second floor. Yeah, sorry, I forgot about
We've
that
got
one.
a historic plaque over here. Lawrence Street Swimming Pool, City Marietta, Dana Eastham. I can't read it.
Dana Eastham was mayor.
Yeah.
And then 1976.
There we go. Okay, thanks. 76. So 76, they dedicate the new pool back here.
So this was, you guys this is what the front of the building, very similar to where we were at in 1969. Not much different.
Nope.
I think it's got columns now. It didn't have, this one doesn't have, oh no, it had columns. It's a little bit different. Here's some kids enjoying the pool in 1969 through that cyclone wire fence.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. And then, all right. So 1974, you could still see the old pool, but it's starting to go into disrepair right there. And then there's the building. And we really can't see that dressing room area anymore.
Mm-hmm.
1983, again, I'm loving these aerial maps. You can see it's a parking lot, the building, and the pool.
The new pool.
The new pool. But there is no pool
No.
to be seen.
Jack Shields said in the mid-'80s, him and several MPD officers were regulars at the gym playing basketball with the neighborhood kids.
Of course, Jack, you totally would be doing that. I can see that. So, hold on, I'm going to get to another one. I wanted to show you guys. Amy was asking about the pool. So in 2005, you see the pool again, the building, not much different. 2014, the pool, somebody's texting me and they really need to stop. You can see the pool and you can kind of tell it's in disrepair. Like there's not, and the community really wanted something to happen. Either fix up the pool or do something with this property.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, we're going to show one more.
Okay.
2015, or two more, I should say. 2015, you can see the pool is, you can see the area where the pool was, but there is no pool.
Yeah.
Pool's gone.
Filled it in.
But you have this pavilion in there, and then the playground comes later, which it's a lovely little playground.
Mm-hmm.
Amy and I were like, and then I wanted to show you guys this too. I did print this out. It's a little bit tougher to see, but. All right, so Lawrence Street is down here. That's where we're at. The Elizabeth Porter Montgomery Street is all the way up here. So you've got a pretty good distance between those facilities. This is fairground running.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it's the community. You have two different rec centers, but it's you know, it's spread out, and you're trying to make sure you get as many people in doing things as possible. So in 2013, 2014, the community really wants to know what's going to happen with the pool. It was like kind of just there, bugs, nastiness, nothing's happening. So instead of trying to maintain the pool, and we've got other facilities by that point, they filled it in and they built what we see here, which is quite lovely.
Mm-hmm.
And actually you can access it from the front of this building, but you can also access it from Washington Avenue. And you can see the National Cemetery from here.
Yeah, see if I can get a shot and zoom in on the cemetery. that kind of give you an idea of where we're at as well. This street here is Washington Avenue, like she said, and then look through the trees there.
Yeah, I didn't realize how
You
close.
can see the cemetery way over there, National Cemetery. There it is.
Okay, so we've kind of done, like I said, now since 2007, really this has become the home for PAL, and so they're the ones that are here doing the programs for the youth and everything, the basketball court. When they did resurface and put in a new basketball court in the 1970s, this is very important. The kids who had the metal wheels on their roller skates could no longer use it.
Oh man.
Such a bummer. You had to go get the rubber wheels. I always had the rubber wheels. I didn't have the metal ones. But that's why another point for the parking lot, it would become a little bit of a skating rink for those the kids that had the metal wheels.
Oh.
I thought that was a kind of an interesting little story. Like, yeah, gotta have the right wheels. So I hope you enjoyed it. I learned something.
I did too.
We're gonna have a new file for Lawrence Street. Any stories that people have, any pictures people might have of events and things in the inside of the old pool, of the second pool, let us know. We'd love to see them. And I think next week we know where we're going. Have we decided on that?
Well, I think for this tour we're going to go back to the cemetery. We're going to do another cemetery tour on. No, we're not doing Thursday.
No, we're going to do next Thursday.
Next Thursday we'll be back at the
cemetery.
The city cemetery.
Yeah.
And we'll go through one of Christa's many tours that she has at the cemetery.
Yeah. Because I didn't tell you guys the story of the leg. And now that
visit the leg.
Yeah, well, and we could visit two legs.
Two legs.
Separately.
Separately.
From their owners.
Two different owners and two different grave sites.
Yeah. Because I haven't found I know of a second spot, but I haven't actually gone out.
We're going to hunt for the leg.
Yeah, I know where one is. And we'll...
The other thing that we're thinking of doing is maybe next week or the week after, since we seem to have a good reaction to me traipsing all over North Georgia following the Great Locomotive Chase in kind of a serial format, that we decided, well, what's another story we can do that and visit the sites that are important to these stories. And so the next kind of story that popped up that we can do is the Leo Frank trial, the Mary Fagan murder and Leo Frank trial. And so I think we're going to scout out some sites in Atlanta and then come all the way up here to Marietta, where kind of the finale of all that happened, and visit Mary Fagan's grave. Christa doesn't often include that on her tours because it's just a really well-known story, so we like to do new things. But since we have never actually gone out to some of these other sites associated with the story, I think that's what we're going to do.
I think, yeah, when we go to her grave, I will do the one I've done where talk about the family afterwards. Because nobody,
right.
Yeah, so I was kind of...
We're going to try to keep as much of the Cobb County connection within the story as possible. Probably won't go into a whole lot of detail of the trial, and just like I had a great book that guided me on the locomotive chase, there's another great book, In the Dead Shall Rise by Steve Oney, and we'll be heavily using that to guide us in our travels. So that should be fun.
We will do that, and then we will, again, wait for people to give us ideas, because I know people have them, and they're just, we want to hear your ideas. Where should we go next?
Yep.
But yeah, we'll definitely go to the city cemetery. And I'll tell
On
you
a rainy day, we're going to do the police department, Jack, so don't worry. We still got you.
Thursdays have turned out beautiful right now, so, I'm not going to say no to being outside. So yeah, if you guys enjoy these, share them with people, share them on whatever groups you're on. Like us on Facebook, follow our page on Facebook, like us on Instagram. Now go to our YouTube page and be subscribers. We have one lone subscriber. That might be me. I have no idea. I gotta be the first. And then that way, also if you're interested in the Leo Frank one, Amy and I, we do have hopefully Van Perlberg talking about it, which his talk about the trial is much better than anything we could do. We'll try and get that up on YouTube as well, so you've got something to kind of watch. But anyway, thank you guys. Enjoy outside. Stay safe, and we'll see you next week.
All right.